Yeah, I know what you guys are thinking. This looks like a massacre, some kind of scene. There's a bunch of cut up plants. You can see that the Philodendron pink princess is crying for help. There's just tons of them. They look like a bunch of victims. There's even like little pink splatters all over. But this honestly is me potentially creating new life, new plants, propagating. So just a little backstory about these cuttings that I did, during the holidays. I have a philodendron pink princess. It's about 3.5 feet tall. That is getting leggy on the very bottom. That was just neglected. That's just another long story short, but I wanted to see if I can water propagate these philodendron pink princess. So I went ahead and cut down a lot of the plant to, number one, encourage new growth, and then two, have the potential of possibly getting a bunch of plants to plant at the bottom of the pot to really have them grow up the pole and be thick. And then number three, philodendron pink princess. This doesn't really have really good genetics. It never really was very pink, but I've heard and seen some results where if you cut down a philodendron pink princess and propagate it, you're able to encourage some new pink. So as you can see, I'm just panning in. I did the cuttings. I've let them sit overnight for about a day before putting them in the potentially water, and I use cinnamon powder to help callus that. And then you can also see that I have some Syngonium Albo cuttings right over here. So we're gonna see if these will take, and I will give you guys growth updates to the point where if I end up potting them up in soil, that'd be awesome. But this one is just a bunch of Syngonium Albo cuttings that I took from my almost reverted Syngonium Albo. This was just one stalk that was still variegated, so we're going to see what that looks like. I mean, guys, let me know in the comments if you've ever done, cuttings, propagations from plants that have pretty much reverted, and what did that look like for you in terms of, did the variegation get revived? Were we able to get the variegation to come back after cutting down the plants? I really like Syngonium Albo. I think it's a fast grow. It's probably one of the fastest type of Syngonium, but the problem is if you don't keep up with the cutting and variegation, it can revert very quickly. And then I also, admittedly just neglected my plants for the past year. I lost a lot of passion for it, and that's why I stopped posting videos. I had a couple back in the day, but now I am back at full force trying to give you guys daily content. I mean, this really does look like some kind of like massacre, and it's crazy how like philodendron pink princess, when you cut them up, they kind of bleed this like red crimson color. So we'll see. So now that I've gotten the cuttings all calloused up, I am gonna take my time to not pot them up, but put them in water. So you can see this is the first cutting right over here. The cuttings have calloused up, so you want to use cinnamon powder, or at least let them callus up. Some people say you can put cuttings directly into water, but there's a higher chance of them, the nodes, rotting. So I try to minimize them by giving them some cinnamon powder. It really just makes them callus up much faster, and I at least let them sit for at least 24 hours. I also make sure that the leaves have been sprayed down with like insecticidal soap or some kind of neem oil, just to prevent any kind of pests that are just lingering there. You got to think these plants are in the most, I guess, unhealthiest state, or just the most, potentially get pests, because they are screaming for life and they need the energy to push roots. So just making sure that they are, your cuttings are pest free, and the fact that I have neglected these plants. So that was the first bottle of water that I placed these cuttings. So now I am going to place most of my mid-cut cuttings in this one as well, but the majority of them will also be top cuttings. I've noticed that top cuttings tend to root a lot faster than mid cuts, so we're going to see what that looks like. If you're propagating philodendron pink princess, or just most propagations, you want to make sure you have clean water, and you can drop like a little drop of Super Thrive to help them root. but you also want to make sure that they're placed in an area that is warm and has bright indirect sunlight, so that they can get the rooting started. Typically, Philodendron Pink Princess can take up to a week or two to show some signs of root, so don't be discouraged, but sometimes it could take longer. I would also encourage you guys to make sure that you put, you change the water frequently, sometimes, daily if possible, but at least, every 3 days, so that you prevent any kind of rotting and that there's a lot of oxygen levels. So that's my second, water propagation of Philodendron Pink Princess. So we'll go ahead and start with the Syngonium Albo. So I'm going to go ahead, look at that one. It's really pretty balanced Albo leaf right there. And I'm just going to try to stick all of the Syngonium albos in there. So I'm not sure if this will actually take, because this stem right here is mostly white. So it might take a lot longer to grow roots, but with Syngoniums, I've always had at least an 85 to 90% success rate for water propagations. I think it's the easiest way to propagate Syngoniums. So we're going to see what that all looks like. I am almost done propagating these, and I'm excited to start a new Syngonium Albo plant using all of these cuttings. I'm just going to plant them all in one pot to get a really bushy plant. And then I have the final one right over here, and this one is mostly Albo. So I can tell you that this is probably gonna take forever to root, but it will root. There is some green right there, so I'm gonna stick that node in the water. And then I have a couple of what they call wet sticks where they don't have any leaves. These ones will take a little bit longer, but I'm gonna try to give this a chance to create new life. So guys, let me know what you guys think of water propagating and whether you think this was a good idea. I know it looked like a massacre, but you know what? I am spending my holidays, or I spent my holidays trying to be productive to create more presents for myself, more life. I really hope you guys like this new plant content that I'm putting through. Please like, comment, subscribe, share my channel, Growfold. I will eventually put some more origami videos for paper cranes, but right now I am trying to get this plant community coming through. And look at these beautiful leaves. This one unfurled, so I don't know if that's gonna go be alive, but we'll see if these will take root and create new life from this massacre. I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.